President Trump is taking action. He's restoring law and order across this nation. He's putting the victims like Iryna first. He's supporting our police, securing our borders, and keeping violent criminals where they belong, which is behind bars.
City Council District.
Meanwhile, where's our congressional representative? Where's Alma Adams at in all of this? She's silent. She didn't say a word about this until Donald Trump said it first. And why didn't she say a word about it? Because she cares more about retaining what she calls her seat than she does about protecting the people of this district. And my message to Alma Adams is that seat doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the people of this district.
But I say the reward is far greater than the risk. Even when
folks, we have criminals running our streets. We have young people with nothing to do, running around with firearms. Property crime is out of control in this district. And we need leaders who will stand with our citizens, leaders who will back the blue, secure our streets, and put the safety of the people of Charlotte first. Iryna's death did not have to happen. It's time that we demand better, it's time that we vote for better, and it's time that we hold Vile and Alma Adams accountable. Next up, I'd like to introduce our candidate for mayor of Charlotte, Terry Donovan.
And pretend this isn't what it is. It is and was wicked and not the Charlotte we deserve. Iryna Zarutska was one of God's creation.
Heartbreaking tragedy
and just like you and me, she deserved to live her life without thinking that my leaders don't have my back.
Let's call
but it's not what happened to Iryna only. It's time after time.
Iryna was a wonderful,
again, where violent,
beautiful, and innocent 23-year-old who recently moved to Charlotte
have been weighted against the people who don't feel safe in their neighborhoods or on the streets.
And tragically, she's
I'm not going to just sit back and watch it happen
on her way home
if I have anything to do with it.
On her way home from
We're standing up today in solidarity against this evil spirit which plagues our city.
He had been arrested 14
people
times.
And works against those ordinary and less talked about ideals
this needs
like
to serve
safe
as
streets,
a wake-up call for
safe
our
neighborhoods,
city.
And a safe ride on public transportation. Is anyone getting the message? It's past time for a change in leadership in Charlotte, and today is a clarion call for all of Charlotte to stand up and say enough is enough. It's time for new leaders who love Charlotte and its people, leaders who won't allow lawlessness and to rule and cower from making the right decision to take bad actors off the streets. And let them know there's a new leadership in Charlotte. Let them know if you do the crime, you will pay the time. Charlotte belongs to all its citizens, and all who live here must go on and let their voice be heard on November 4th for a change. Enough is enough. It is with a humble heart I am directing my campaign to contribute $1,000 to Iryna Zarutska's fund, because what happened to her could also happen to one of our daughters and one of our sons. Her assignment here on earth has ended, but she will be in our hearts and minds forever. I pray that we will all look deep within our spirits and hearts to discover that the blinders have been taken off. And now we can all see those things we've been talking about and need to change. Let's stop now for a silent prayer for Charlotte and Iryna's family. Amen. And lastly, the winds of change are here.
When flight prices dropped, Vikram could finally start ticking off his bucket list. Expedia, made to travel.
Good morning. The first City Council Democrat just had a press conference this morning, and he did so 3 weeks too late. It was a message of now is the time to take action. The citizens of Charlotte are asking, where has the action been? Some of our council members have been on council for over 10 years, and they are failing our citizens and they are failing our city. The voters of Charlotte are now awake. I'm asking what has prevented them from taking action for 10 years, and then I need the voters of Charlotte to ask, why should they trust that they are actually going to take action now. They had the opportunity and they have not done so. It is a time for change in Charlotte, and I hope that the voters have woken up. I want to thank the police officers in our city for doing their job. Yes. They are putting their lives on the line every single day to protect us. It is now time for our leaders to step up and do theirs. Yeah. Thank you for taking this time to do this. It is important, and I hope the voters of Charlotte will wake up and understand that new leadership is on the horizon, and it's needed now more than ever. Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Ed Driggs. I'm a member of Charlotte City Council for District 7, and I chair the city's Transportation Planning and Development Committee. Today, we mourn Iryna Zarutska. We are shocked and horrified at the graphic images of the crime that was committed against her. This crime is particularly heinous because she was an innocent, defenseless young woman, because she came here from Ukraine, a country that is heroically fighting our enemy Russia and has discredited them as a superpower. Because her assailant was a mentally ill, prior arrestee, had been in the system. How could all of this happen? We are shocked, horrified. We are also angry.
Yes.
We are angry.
Yes.
We are all angry. Not just Republicans, all of us. To have something like this happen in our city is an insult to everybody who lives here. So the only good news, I guess, to come out of it, I will emphasize the fact you cannot have quality of life in a city where you're not safe.
That's right.
So if you are concerned about the difference between a criminal and a mentally ill person, do not be. They need to be confined. Yes. The public needs to be protected from them. Yes. Afterwards, you can worry about whether they ought to be in a treatment center or a prison or where they should be, but they cannot be out in circulation. Yes. All of these prior offenders, and again, people with mental disturbance who have demonstrated a propensity for violent crime, they need to be taken out of circulation. The only good news I can say to come out of this is it has galvanized some action. So the city of Charlotte, for example, is calling in off-duty police officers and increasing manpower. CATS has increased its security efforts, has tripled in the last couple of years its budget for security. There is now a huge amount of focus on these issues. We will, in the future, in the next weeks, we will see people on bikes and UTVs patrolling and on call, available to intervene in dangerous situations. And going down the road, if we're able to proceed with our mobility plan, the new authority is going to have its own police force. It's going to be a whole different security situation on public transportation if we get the resources and are able to proceed with our plan. I have to emphasize, as has been noted, a lot of this is not about the Charlotte City Council in the end. And as a 12-year council member and one of 2 Republicans that whole time, I have advocated for more funding for police. I have advocated for tougher enforcement, more aggressive enforcement. But now we have an opportunity. I think everybody is paying attention. The country is paying attention. So we do mourn Iryna today. All I can say is if the result of her death is that there is a heightened awareness of safety and more steps are taken to keep us safe, she will not have died in vain. Thank you. The next speaker will be Edwin Peacock, my council colleague.
Priorities. Moments like this shake us at our very core. Moments like this shake us at our very core when a mentally unstable, repeat offender who should have been institutionalized murders an innocent woman on a public transit system that we are all charged to protect. We must stop and ask ourselves, what are our priorities? It is in moments like this that we must acknowledge, as a city and as a community, we have failed. We live in one of the most successful and prosperous cities in one of the most prosperous states in America. And yet, we look at our choices. We prioritize $645 million to the Panthers Stadium, while we know that we need 600 more police officers in Charlotte. We prioritize $245 million of upgrades to the Spectrum Center, including a $32 million practice facility for the Charlotte Hornets, while we know just miles away our jail is too small and our mental health facilities are overwhelmed. We prioritize spending $1 billion on this light rail system and this expansion right here in front of us, while ignoring a little dirty secret: that riding our light rail and our streetcar is free because we do not enforce fares. Ladies and gentlemen, sports arenas or safety? That is a question about this tragedy that forces us to confront it. Since the tragedy, I have called for 2 immediate actions. Number 1, more cops and more CATS officials on our trains and our buses and at all of our transit facilities. We have 48 trains, ladies and gentlemen. This is not impossible. Fare enforcement. If you do not pay, you do not ride. The integrity of our system depends on it. But folks, this is not just about transit. It is about public safety in every corner of our city. This is why I'm calling for a citywide collaborative bringing together city and county government, police, fire, sheriff, nonprofits, service providers, business leaders to create a Charlotte-Mecklenburg Public Safety Alliance. I am asking for the Foundation for the Carolinas to convene and to lead this initiative and assure its success and its effectiveness. Why? Because this is the very organization, ladies and gentlemen, that rallied and convened our community when Charlotte found out that we were ranked 50th out of 50th for economic mobility. I served on that board for 3 years, and it's through their leadership that Leading on Opportunity Council was created. And within 8 years, we've moved from 50th to 38th. We have proved that progress is possible. I am specifically asking for Foundation for the Carolinas to gather the Charlotte Executive Leadership Council to establish the framework for an initiative for the collective corporate leadership and financial capacity to help our community at this time. Our goal is not to point fingers. It is not to write another report that gathers dust. Our goal is to find solutions, to bring the full weight of the community together, to fund, to support, and to implement a plan that will work, just like we did with the Leading on Opportunity Council. I want to thank all of my candidates behind me who gathered and who have shown the courage it takes to run and the willingness to serve. I think you realize now you do have a choice on November 4th. Mr. President, thank you for bringing this tragedy to our attention and our nation. Mr. President, work with Charlotte and our leaders and help us to become the safest city in the United States of America. And Mr. President, thank you for reminding us that a safe Charlotte is a strong Charlotte. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I can think of no better way to close out this meeting than to welcome up my friend Tatiana Thulian, who is a native of Ukraine. She immigrated here legally from Crimea. She is also a member of Opera Carolina, and we'd like to ask her, and we'd like for you to join with us in singing our nation's national anthem.
Hello everyone, my name is Tatiana Selin and I will be happy to sing national anthem in remembrance of power of the American flag and American law system that we call to be strong and justice. We're saying to President Trump that took our call for action, we submitted to him. And we hope that changes will be here and Charlotte will be safe again. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Woo! Thank you.
Thank you. Iryna Zarutska's life was taken too early. A life shortened by an event that was preventable. A life that should be remembered, celebrated, and marked as a point of change. To be able to turn away from those liberal policies that took her life way too early, as well as those that perpetuate it. We will now take questions.
Yes, Jason, right here.
Please.
I've heard a lot of speakers today blame Mayor Lyles and Democrats for being soft on crime. Can you name a specific city or county policy that led to Mr. Brown being freed on August 22nd?
Cashless bail.
Yeah, we continue to see the policies of cashless bail, where you continue to see policies that allow a revolving door within our courts and within our judicial system to occur, to allow individuals like Mr. Brown to perpetuate the crimes that he did.
Yes,
Next question.
By state law.
And as we heard yesterday from Speaker Hall, they are in the process at the General Assembly reviewing all these laws that would allow individuals like Mr. Brown to be back on the streets, and we look forward to the General Assembly coming back. Yes, sir.
Yes, going off of that, House Speaker says he wants to address pretrial release and look at new rules for magistrates. You have a working supermajority. How soon do you expect that legislation to be taken up by the General Assembly?
Sure, you heard from Speaker Hall yesterday where I believe that he's in the process right now of assembling his teams to be able to take a look and bring this short order to the General Assembly for consideration. Yes, sir.
I'm curious, we're talking a lot about the light rail and the tragedy that occurred. This light rail line has been run this way and policed this way for 18 years. So why are you just now suggesting that there need to be wholesale changes?
As I marked, her death is one of 100 that occurred this year, the year before that. It has taken an event that is so tragic and so startling to the public for this attention to be brought. As I mentioned at the start, over 3 weeks ago we had considered coming here to talk about the municipal elections, to talk about the individuals that have run this city for far too long and the policies that have allowed this city to crumble. We look forward to change coming and being able to make sure that North Carolina and especially Charlotte does not continue to see record high homicide rates that are over 100 per year, everybody. Hundreds of lives taken far too short. Next question.
Chairman,
yes.
I know speakers have highlighted Mr. out on where he was facing a non-violent misdemeanor and had been ordered to undergo a mental health evaluation. Are you saying that judges should detain people indefinitely based on past crimes rather than current charges?
As you saw with the criminal charges, as well as what did not take place in many of the documents that we are continuing to see, and will allow DOJ as well as the state system of the judicial system to play this out. But it does appear that this is an individual that should have received far more attention than he received to be put back on the streets. Yes, sir.
One other point on this.